Hi, I'm Tara and welcome to my YouTube channel. Do you ever find yourself being green with envy? Well, that's what today's video is all about. It's about jealousy and envy. So the purpose of this video is to shed light on what jealousy and envy is really all about. It's to address how you handle it if you find yourself being one of those people who is jealous and envious of other people. And also, what do you do if you're the victim of someone's envy and jealousy? Everybody has every human emotion. We all feel some jealousy or envy from time to time. If you struggle with jealousy, if you're the victim of it, I have compassion for you. We're gonna figure out ways to help both people. So, without further ado, I have a question that I've been wanting to ask for a very long time. Why do jealous people give themselves away? I always find that so fascinating and interesting because people can tell when someone is jealous of them because they give it away. They give you clues, they give you hints. Why would you do that? If I felt jealous of someone, I'm not gonna let them know that. But when people really struggle with that, there are some people who know how to keep it in check and you would never know. But I think most people who struggle with it, they let everyone know. But the weird thing is that they don't realize that everybody's on to them. They just sort of pretend with them because they don't want to hurt their ego further. But people know it. I'm going to give you a couple of random examples. Let's say you get a new car and someone comments, I never would have bought that color, or why didn't you get another type of car? Why would you get that kind? Why is it that when someone gets something nice or they're achieving to a new level, maybe they got a new job that's really amazing, and instead of telling them, oh, you're doing a good job, or hey, you're really great at that, you're like, wow, I didn't know that you were good enough in science to get something like that. I mean, it's just a little comments, because most of the time when you get something new or something good happens to you, what do most people do? They tell you, great job, I'm proud of you, I'm happy for you, and they go on with their lives. But those envious, jealous people, they always have to ease in a comment, or they're always trying to change something about you. So my first tip would be hide your jealousy. And I know that's not easy to do, but why would you want to put a spotlight on yourself in that way? Why don't you try protecting yourself and going inwards and start healing some of the things that are issues for you? Ask yourself, why do I feel jealous? Why do I feel envious? Because what is the definition of jealousy, envy? It's wanting something that someone else has, or you're afraid that something that someone else is getting is going to take away from what you have or what you want. Or you don't want someone else to have something good because it puts the spotlight on yourself and it points out the things that you feel are flaws or that you feel are lacking about yourself, or it highlights your lack of achievement or the things that you wanted but that you don't have. So how does that solve anything? Does that get you closer to what it is that you want? That's the problem with jealousy. It doesn't get you closer to what you want at all. It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't fix it. It doesn't make you feel better. Well, maybe it makes you feel better in the moment, but it makes you look really bad It's better to take a few weeks, a few days, a few months, a few years even, to go in and figure out you. So what is jealousy and envy? It's a toxic, poisonous emotion that can do a lot of damage. When people are feeling that emotion, it's so powerful and ugly and painful and hurtful that it's hard for them to control, and sometimes it can lead to you doing bad things, you sabotaging your future, and it makes you look bad and hurts your relationships, and it can also push you away from people. One of my friends often says, the hole you're trying to dig for me is the one that you're really digging for yourself. So when you're trying to dig a hole for somebody to fall in because, oh, well, I'm going to keep taking punches at you, I'm going to keep figuring out ways to tell you that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you need to change this, you need to do that, you're really hurting yourself. Those negative things are just going to come back on you. One, because jealousy can cause you to lose friendships. It can cause people to pull away from you. So you want to be very cautious and careful about jealousy and envy. When people are jealous of you, a lot of times they'll treat you badly because they can't tolerate what's good about you, because it reminds them of what's bad about them. So jealousy is a feeling, and we are all allowed to feel what we feel. That is natural. It's important to own your feelings. Why lie to yourself? If you're really feeling that emotion, I don't want you to feel ashamed of yourself. I want you to work on it and do something about it. Do some deep healing, which people often avoid because it's painful to heal from feelings that we don't want. Can we feel the feeling? Yes. The problem is when you act on that feeling. Like, for example, someone might justify their behavior or something bad that they do to you because they're saying, well, I tried to tell you, so now I'm gonna teach you a lesson. That's not your place. That's a way for you to justify your conscience, your guilty conscience, and tell yourself that you're doing something good for the person to hurt them or their future because you really feel bad about yourself. When you're putting that type of energy towards other people, you're really doing it against yourself. Why not work on you? My mother often says, if you want something that I have, go get it. What's stopping you? This world is big enough for everybody to do everything that they want to do. Now, you might have to work on it. You might have to make a plan. You might have to wait. It takes patience. Some people can guise themselves as friends, but they're really frenemies, because what does a friend do? A friend builds you up. A friend picks you up when you're down. A friend celebrates with you. A friend is happy for you. There's an ease to friendship. So what is a frenemy? Someone who pretends to be your friend, but they're really against you in some ways because they don't like what you have. You're like a mirror showing them what they don't have, or they think you're better than them. And so they're always trying to underhandedly tear you down and bring you down. They can't tolerate your success. It bothers them. Competitiveness can be a form of jealousy and envy. They're like, oh, you got that, so I'm gonna go get this. Or you created that successful business and I really wanted to have that successful business. Well, why can't you both have a successful business? You know, that's what friends and families do. They edify, they build each other up. They're happy for their success. So remember, if you're feeling jealous or envious, you need to look inward. What need of yours hasn't been met that is frustrating you, that's causing you sorrow, that's causing you pain, that's causing you hurt? That's a healthy way to approach jealousy and envy. Another thing that you can do is look at what you do have. Look around at something that you have today that somebody would gladly put themselves in your shoes. Everybody is struggling. So tell yourself that the next time you feel envious or jealous of someone, tell yourself, I bet you that person is struggling with something, or they're unhappy with something in their life, or there's something that they're dealing with that maybe they're not sharing with me. When you're pushing someone down, you don't know what it is that they're going through or what they're struggling through. So why would you be another weight on that person? That's not what God would want you to do. God wants you to treat other people the way that you want to be treated. Some people want to keep you down because it makes them feel better. Now, this is a tricky area. There are some people who think that everybody is jealous of them. Newsflash, there are not that many people who are jealous of you. I mean, I know it feeds your ego to think that, but there's a possibility that you think everyone is jealous of you because of the venom that you're spewing out at people, and they have a reaction to you, and you can't handle that. And so instead of dealing with, you know what, let me take a look at how I treat people, you automatically go to, oh, they're just jealous of me. No, they're not jealous of you. They're tired of you. Go inward and figure out what you can do to be a healthier, better person and get along with people better. So what are some solutions that you can do if you find yourself being the victim of a jealous person? If it keeps happening over and over and over, and you know that you're already dealing with things in your life and they just continue to be a drain in that way, and it might be time to take out the scissors and cut the friendship. It's hard dealing with toxic, energy draining people, or you might want to just take a break from that person for a while. Just pull back. That could be something that you do. What are your limits and what are your boundaries? Put those into place. Nobody has the right to put you down, treat you badly, do things to hurt you, especially if they call themselves your friend and they do something that can impact or hurt your future. That's not my definition of a friend. Figure out how to protect yourself. So get out a pen and figure out 1 or 2 things that you're going to start doing to protect yourself. One of the things is you can tell yourself positive things, not letting that person get in your head, because that's what they're trying to do. Take it as a compliment. Every now and then you hear that 1 or 2 negative comments, it means that you're doing great. So pat yourself on the back. Another solution is never stop going in the direction that you're going. If it's positive, don't let the negatives or the haters, don't let them stop you from reaching your goal. Let that energize you and push you forward. Go out and do something nice for yourself. Sometimes people will take your niceness for weakness, not realizing that there's a part of you that's very strong. And I want you to tap into that strong part of yourself that says, hey, wait a minute, you don't get to just treat me any kind of way. You don't get to keep putting me down. You don't get to keep treating me with disrespect, especially if I'm not treating you that way. How can I make someone feel very respected? How can I go out of my way to do that? What can I do to be extra nice to someone? That's how you build yourself up, is by making sure that you're not putting that jealous, envious energy out there, and you're putting out a lot of kindness and joy to people. Do that today anyway. So please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so that you can get more of my videos. Thank you for watching my video. Bye.